Have you ever felt like you're just constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop? You know, you're braced for something bad to happen, even when logically everything's totally fine. Well, today we're going to dive deep into that feeling because it's way more common than you might think.
This question right here, it really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's that disconnect where your brain is saying, hey, we're safe, but your body is screaming a completely different story. It's like your body is living in the past.
So, what do we call this? This feeling of being constantly on edge? Well, there's a term for it. It's often called being stuck in survival mode.
And that name is hypervigilance. Think of it like this. Your internal security system, your nervous system, is on the highest alert setting. Its radar is constantly sweeping the room, scanning for threats, even when there's absolutely nothing there to be afraid of.
Now, this is so important to understand, and it's a huge perspective shift. You are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. This isn't some kind of character flaw. It's actually your body's ancient, brilliant protective system just trying to keep you safe based on what it's learned before. So, why does this even happen? How does a system designed to protect us get kind of stuck? Let's get into the science of it, because this is a very real physical response, not just something you can think your way out of. Okay, so look at the difference here. A healthy nervous system, it's like a smoke alarm. Danger happens, the alarm goes off. Danger passes, the alarm turns off, and you go back to feeling calm. But with a trauma-wired system, that switch gets jammed in the on position. The brain starts seeing potential danger absolutely everywhere, and the body stays tense, ready for a fight that never actually comes. And this isn't just a feeling of being anxious. It has real-world consequences. Research from Harvard Health makes it super clear. This constant state of alert can mess with everything. We're talking your sleep, your digestion, even your ability to just think clearly. It's a full-body experience.
All right, so what does this actually look like in your day-to-day life? Let's walk through 6 really common signs. And as we go, just notice if any of these sound a little familiar. First up, you get startled a lot. You know, you jump out of your skin when a door slams, or when someone comes up behind you unexpectedly.
And the reason why is pretty simple. Your nervous system is primed for a super fast reaction. It's been trained to respond instantly to danger. So even a tiny, harmless trigger can feel like a 5-alarm fire inside your body. Number 2, you find yourself automatically scanning rooms. Maybe when you walk into a cafe, you immediately, without thinking, clock all the exits. Or you always choose the seat with its back to the wall. This is your brain shifting its priorities from presence to survival. Instead of just relaxing and being in the moment, it's busy mapping escape routes and analyzing everyone's body language, always on the lookout for potential trouble. The third sign is a big one for so many people. You just cannot seem to relax. Or maybe you can fall asleep, but it's not that deep, restful sleep you really need. And that's because your body literally doesn't feel safe enough to power down. Even when you're exhausted and your mind is begging for a break, your body's like, nope, not safe yet, gotta stay on guard. That's why rest can feel so impossible. Number 4, this one's subtle but powerful. It's that constant, low-level feeling that something bad is just around the corner, a sense of dread that you can't quite put your finger on. This isn't about a specific fear, right? It's more like this background hum of anxiety. Because of past experiences, your brain has been wired to just assume the worst, creating this feeling that disaster could strike at any second. Fifth sign, you have these huge emotional reactions to seemingly small things, like a tiny inconvenience happens and suddenly it feels like the end of the world. There's this amazing concept called the window of tolerance. When you're hypervigilant, that window gets really narrow. You just don't have as much capacity to handle stress. So something that might normally be no big deal, like a missed text, can completely push you over the edge into panic or anger. And finally, number 6, you are just bone deep, emotionally exhausted, even if, on the outside, you look like you're holding it all together perfectly. And this is the great paradox, isn't it? Being on high alert 24/7 is absolutely draining. But those survival responses that keep you going, that drive to fight for control or to please everyone, they can totally mask just how burnt out your system truly is. So if it feels this bad, why is it so hard to get out of this state?
Well, there are a few really common barriers that can keep the nervous system from finding its way back to a place of calm and safety. Things like unprocessed trauma that's still stored in the body, or maybe not having enough signals of safety in your current environment. A huge one is self-judgment, beating yourself up for being too sensitive. And of course, if you're under constant stress, it just keeps telling your body that the danger is real.
Okay, but here is the most important part. Here's the hope. You absolutely can retrain your nervous system. It's not a life sentence. So let's talk about the path back to feeling safe inside your own skin.
There are a lot of amazing, evidence-based ways to do this. We're talking about things like somatic practices, which work directly with the body's sensations. Therapies like EMDR and internal family systems are game changers for many. Even simple things like creating predictable routines can send powerful signals of safety. And connecting with safe people, that's co-regulation, and it's incredibly healing.
In fact, let's try something right now. Just place one hand on your heart and the other on your belly. Take a slow breath in through your nose, and then let it all out with a sigh. Let's do that a few more times. This simple act is a direct message to your nervous system that says, in this moment, you are safe. It's a tiny pause that can make a huge difference.
And please remember this. This is such a crucial tip from therapists in this field. Healing doesn't happen in one giant leap. Safety is built through tiny, consistent, micro moments of calm repeated over and over again. You don't have to fix everything at once. So I want to leave you with a question to sit with. Instead of trying to fight or ignore that feeling of being on high alert, what if we got curious about it? What if we asked, what messages is my nervous system trying to send me about what I truly need to feel safe? That might just be where the healing begins.